Welcome, everyone. We are so glad to have you join us today. Make sure to grab a pen and paper to jot down notes throughout the presentation. Welcome to the Back to Work 50 Plus 7-Step Coaching Program Overview. You are in the right place. I'm Lyndon Kidd from Tucson, Arizona, your intrepid career transition and job campaign coach. At AARP Foundation, we serve AARP members and non-members alike. And our mission is to equip older workers with the resources, know-how, and training needed to unlock economic opportunity and to build financial resilience. Back to Work 50 Plus is our job campaign program that provides the coaching tools and resources that help older adults compete with confidence in today's in-demand jobs. AARP Foundation supports a network of organizations that provide Back to Work 50 Plus coaching to unemployed 50 plus workers across the country and virtually. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce my friend and the fabulous other presenter today, William Craig III. Take it away, William.
Well, thank you so much, Lyndon, and welcome everyone. I'm William Craig III, as just mentioned, and I'm in the Washington, D.C. area. I've got a question to start things off. Have you ever wished you could just ask someone for help and not have to sift through all of the noise about getting a new job? Well, if so, we've got great news for you. You see, that's what a career transition coach is for, and we've got some great coaches here to guide you. You might be asking, just what is a career transition coach, William? Well, I'm glad you asked, because these are folks who help you strategize your personal goals and plan your career moves. And they will assist with identifying new employment opportunities, provide feedback on resumes, cover letters, interviews, and support preparation for a successful job campaign. Now, as Lyndon just mentioned, AARP Foundation launched the Back to Work 50 Plus coaching program to help older workers regain the confidence and skills needed to compete in today's marketplace. And by the way, we call it a job campaign because it's never just a search. Once you find a job, guess what? If it fits your interest and your skills, then you're going to need to convince that recruiter or that hiring manager that you're the right fit for the position. And that's why you need a campaign approach. Now, the job market has changed dramatically since the introduction of COVID-19 and its many variants. This means that all of us have had to rethink how we approach our skills and the careers and jobs that we seek. That said, as a job campaigner, you're still going to need skills and strategies to be successful in gaining employment. And guess what? We can help you learn the skills and the strategies and provide you with the support of coaches who understand the unique challenges older workers face at this time. We recognize that you often represent a hidden talent pool overlooked by employers. Our Back to Work 50 Plus job coaches understand how to help you convince employers that you bring the valuable communication, problem solving, and customer service skills that they need. So we've created this overview as an introduction to the Back to Work 50 Plus 7-step coaching program. For the rest of our time together, we're going to share high-level details of how to construct a successful job campaign. Hopefully you'll like that. Truth is, this is a very tough time to launch a job campaign alone. And that's why we're here together to work with you. In fact, let me tell you about a couple of successful Back to Work 50 Plus job campaign candidates. See if this sounds familiar to you. Lisa Edmonds started working at Sears, Roebuck and Company fresh out of high school and was laid off more than 40 years later. At age 60, she was looking for work and she found the Back to Work 50 Plus program at her Chicago area American Job Center. Well, she attended a workshop just like this one and continued with additional coaching. and met other job campaigners with similar stories. She was committed to her coaching plan and kept completing applications and seeking and attending hiring events. Well, her preparedness and her personality impressed a recruiter from Weber Packaging, and she was hired for a customer service position. And what Edmund told us was she couldn't be happier with her new job because she loves the work, she loves the hours, she loves the environment and the way they take care of their employees. I've got another story for you. This is Cynthia, and when COVID-19 put her job in limbo, Cynthia Fernandez turned to the Back to Work 50 Plus program for help. You see, Cynthia had been in the hospitality industry for 27 years, and then the pandemic hit. She was furloughed from her job as an at your service agent with the Marriott Corporation in March of 2020. And she applied for unemployment and waited to be called back to work in July. Well, it wasn't until June of 2020 when she learned that her furlough was extended until October. Well, that's when she started to worry. She realized that she needed to act. So she attended the same workshop you're viewing. And it's a good thing because Cynthia was told that her position at the Marriott was being eliminated. Oh my gosh, permanently. As you can imagine, this news hit her hard. Well, through the Back to Work 50 Plus coaching program, she learned to include keywords in her resume and how to do engaging job interviews. The job search tips and support that she received helped her maintain her job campaign. And she said, the materials helped me present myself to employers the right way. She also downloaded and practiced using a variety of webinar platforms so she could do job interviews virtually. Well, in March of 2021, after a full year of being out of work, Cynthia was hired as a COVID-19 health screener at a local hospital, a full-time but temporary position with no benefits. So she decided she would keep looking. Well, with the tools and skills gained through the Back to Work 50 Plus program, Cynthia kept her personal marketing tools up to date, and she was ready for any opportunity that might arise. And guess what? She applied for a position at the newly built Marriott Marquis right across from the hospital where she worked. What happened? Well, you may have guessed it. In June of 2021, Cynthia reached out to our team and said, I went to the interview with the Marquis Marriott today and wait for it, I got the job. Oh my goodness. Well, listen, as mentioned, the first step in our program is this overview session. And as a thank you for joining us today, you will receive a copy of the 7 Smart Strategies for 50 Plus Job Seekers Guide. By the way, a printed copy should be arriving soon, so just hold on if you haven't seen it yet. At this time, we'd like to introduce you to the Job Campaign Checklist, which outlines all the steps you need to take to launch a successful job campaign. This checklist was specifically developed for our Back to Work 50 Plus 7-step coaching program and is a step-by-step guide to follow to assure success with your job campaign. Lyndon, if you wouldn't mind, would you review the job campaign checklist for us?
Thanks, William. I'd be glad to. Here are the 7 job campaign steps we will be covering today, which forms the foundation for our coaching guidance going forward. The first is prepare for your job campaign. The second, identify your goals, skills, and interests and align them with the job market. Third, select your job targets and research employers. Next, create your personal marketing tools. Find and apply for jobs. Prepare for the interview. And accept, decline, or negotiate the job offer. As we walk through each step, take note if it's new information to you or familiar material. Your list of new information will indicate the areas you need to learn more about. With that said, let's get started. We call step 1, prepare for your job campaign. The truth is, a job campaign can take several weeks or even months. And for many of you, I'm sure it's already been months. During the process, one can ignore or overlook some of the basic needs that are important to being your best. Using this strategy can help you get and stay strong and be positive all the way through. Taking time to focus on yourself will help you be fully prepared when a job opportunity presents itself. It's important to note that for each person, this will be a different process. During the 7 Steps coaching program, we'll cover several areas you'll need to monitor and in which you'll want to be accountable while conducting your job campaign. Things like making sure you create a support system, starting a gratitude journal, taking care of you, Y-O-U, connecting with others who are also seeking employment, like in our LinkedIn community, and seeking mental health support if needed. And finally, to find those perfect interview outfits that will make you feel your very best. You can also find helpful tips and resources in the 7 Smart Strategies for 50 Plus Job Seekers Guide to put yourself first. Whether you've been out of the job market for quite some time or you're just starting your job campaign, you must get organized. Things have probably changed quite a bit since your last job campaign. Entire job categories and industries may have totally disappeared, while brand new industries may have come to the forefront. Wages also may be very different now, especially if you worked in the same place for a long time and ended your tenure at a fairly high wage or salary. Although it's only natural to want to regain that income level, the truth is you may or may not be able to command that same salary range in your new position. Here are suggestions on where to start. So schedule 4 to 6 hours a day for your job campaign on a weekly calendar. Identify and set up your job campaign workspace. Identify additional resources you might need. Create a budget based on your current income. Check your credit report and find your closest American Job Center. American Job Centers, or AJCs as they are commonly referred to, host websites and physical locations where job seekers can get assistance with training, access to computers, as well as job leads. They also often have helpful labor market information on their websites to help you figure out which jobs are most likely to be open where you live. Your AJC may have a different name like Career Source or Workforce Center, and you can find it by visiting this website, servicelocator.org. Again, that's service, servicelocator.org. Another great program is the Senior Community Service Employment Program, commonly known as CSEP. This program helps unemployed workers age 55 and over get jobs through community service and work-based job training. You must apply for the program and meet eligibility guidelines. Find a site near you by visiting servicelocator.org/SCSEP or call our AARP Foundation Contact Center for more assistance. Step 2 is identify your goals, skills, and interests and align them with the job market. One of the first things you'll want to do is to write down your goals, skills, and interests. You can explore an online assessment tool as well to help identify your skills and interests. Taking an online assessment will help you identify your skills and clarify what you value in a job. While assessments are not an exact science, they can be very helpful in identifying jobs that match your interests and your skills. One helpful and free assessment is called My Next Move. How many of you like free? Besides me. Free is a good thing. Yeah. All right. Next, you'll want to review the jobs selected by the online assessment and choose 3 which have a bright outlook. Those careers are projected to have increased openings now and in the future. Then you will select 1 or 2 target jobs for which you will conduct employer research. Look how medical secretaries shows up in this list. And the little sun next to it means that it's a job with a bright outlook. This brings us to the next step of the job campaign process. Step 3. Select your job target and research employers. Now that you've selected your job target, you're ready to research the target jobs and identify local employers near you. Once you receive your results on the My Next Move assessment, you'll see the job outlook. When you click on Find Jobs, you'll be able to find openings for your target job within 50 miles from your zip code if you're looking locally. You can also find more employers near you by using Google Maps. It's as easy as that. Next, you can keep track of employers you've targeted by using the Target Job Worksheet provided in your 7 SMART Strategies for 50 Plus Job Seekers Guide. We'd like to mention a valuable resource that can help you understand the job market and various occupations that you may not have considered up until now. The Occupational Outlook Handbook at bls.gov/OOH/ is a U.S. Department of Labor tool that provides information on the nature of work, the work environment, education or training required, and any other qualifications needed for the job. Additionally, you can learn about the pay and, again, the job's outlook. There are over 300 occupational profiles, and it's divided into clusters of similar occupations. In order to find an occupation, browse the occupational groups of interest on the left side of the home page. Some jobs you look at might require skills or experience that doesn't perfectly line up with your career history, and that's okay. What you need to consider is how to gain or demonstrate updated skills which employers are looking for today. You may have been an excellent key punch operator back in the day, but key punches and key punch machines have gone the way of the VCR and the 8-track player. Many 50-plus job candidates quickly agree that they need help improving their skills, but some are unsure as to how to go about updating the skill set. Let me offer a few suggestions. First, consider volunteering. This option proverbially kills multiple birds with one stone. By volunteering, you can learn new skills in exchange for your time. You also get to add recent work experience to your resume. Your network of professional contacts grows, and you get the satisfaction of working for a cause you deem worthy. Who knows, it could even lead to permanent employment. To give you a leg up on finding nationwide volunteer opportunities, we've provided websites on the screen and in our SMART Strategy Guide. CreateTheGood.org, that's CreateTheGood.org, is AARP's own volunteer matching site. Simply plug in your zip code and you're on your way. One of the greatest examples is that available nationwide is AARP Foundation's Tax Aid Program. Volunteers receive IRS training to help taxpayers complete their taxes during tax season and receive the volunteer income tax assistance and tax counseling for the elderly program certification. All right, so second, consider working part-time. Similar to volunteering, you get to learn more about the company without a major commitment while picking up new skills and growing your network at the same time. Third, check with your local American Job Center, community college, or workforce training center and inquire about free or subsidized occupational training. These opportunities combine job specific training with guaranteed work experiences, externships, or internships. In some states, community colleges allow workers above a certain age to attend for free, and some will even pay you to attend. They also put you directly in the line of sight of employers who are looking for candidates who have the skills they need and are ready, willing, and able to do the job. Finally, the skills expected by employers are always changing. To land a new job, you'll need to show that you've kept your skills up to date. You can take classes at a community college, local library, or at an online site. An easy and free place to start is AARP's Learn at 50 Plus website at learn.aarp.org, where you will find on-demand work and jobs webinars that will help you make decisions that are right for you. You can also take advantage of free training on gcflearnfree.org and digitalliteracyassessment.org. William, will you pick it up from here?
Well, sure thing, Lyndon. And I believe that brings us to step number 4, which is creating your personal marketing tools. So let's continue reviewing the steps in the job campaign checklist. This next strategy lays a foundation for getting your foot in the door with a potential employer. This is where you will create the tools that help you create that great first impression. And as the saying goes, you don't get a second chance to do that. So you've got to make it count. Now, we call these your personal marketing tools. First, creating a dedicated job campaign email, a 30-second pitch, your resume, your LinkedIn profile, and finally, your business or networking card. Now, while you may not think of your email address as a marketing tool, it is the first thing that many employers will notice about you. So you will want to have an appropriate job campaign email address. We use the term appropriate because older candidates in particular may have service providers like AOL, Hotmail, Netscape, Yahoo, or some other outdated email address. Now, you might be saying, well, why in the world does that matter? Well, quite simply, it dates you, or it suggests that you might be someone who is not in tune with technology. You see, in today's online culture, hiring managers, recruiters, and HR professionals expect to see a Gmail or an Outlook.com in the email address. Believe it or not, anything else is suspect. Additionally, the first part of that email address should be some part of your name. Things like Grandma Maggie at gmail.com or Grandpa Joe at gmail.com are just as bad as having an outdated service provider. And please stay away from pet names like Baby Cakes, Honeysuckle, and we've even seen Shoe Diva. Listen. Your first name plus your last name at gmail.com or your first name dot your last name at gmail or outlook.com is most appropriate. Now, in cases where your name is not available, because I hear some of you talking, both Gmail and Outlook will give you suggestions to choose from, but we warn you, please choose wisely. For example, when using numbers behind your name, never ever use the year of your birth or any 4-digit number that may look like the reference to a year. If you're not familiar with the concept of how to efficiently or effectively use email, a resource we mentioned earlier, gcflearnfree.org, We'll provide you with the basics you need to tackle the issue of how to use email. Okay, so now let's have some fun with introducing ourselves. Your 30-second pitch prepares you to answer questions like, can you tell me about yourself? Or what do you do best? Or how can you have an impact? Or how have you had an impact in the past? And why are you looking for this position and what do you expect? All of those are great questions, but here's an example of how a 30-second pitch might sound. I'm Mary Marvelous, your detail-oriented administrative professional. I can manage your office with poise and efficiency. I'd like to explore how I can use my organizational skills to keep you and your staff on task. When would be a good time for us to talk? You see, you want to clearly and concisely tell what skills you have and how they can benefit that prospective employer. Now, the Smart Strategies Guide offers great advice for creating your 30-second pitch. And once finalized, you will want to memorize it and share it whenever you find yourself in a networking situation. So next, I'll talk about the resume, because if you haven't looked for work in a while, yours may be a little out of date. You may even want to start from scratch after gathering all of the information about your work history and volunteer experience. But important to note, your resume should be no more than 2 pages and describe the last 10 to 15 years of your work experience. Understand this though, it should not be a laundry list of duties and tasks performed, but it should highlight your accomplishments. In today's job market, you need to customize that core resume for each and every job for which you apply. Now, when you participate in our Back to Work 50 plus 7-step coaching program, we're going to provide you with many more suggestions on how to create or enhance your resume. And you'll have an option to have personalized assistance from your job campaign coach to make sure you get it just right. Now, another important point is you need to harness the power of social media to build your network. A great place to start is by creating or updating a LinkedIn profile. Yes, you can also use Twitter or Facebook to help others understand more about your skills and your employment pursuits. But just know this, your LinkedIn profile will be viewed by recruiters and employers who are considering your application. We're going to go over some tips to create a winning profile in the 7-step coaching sessions and in one-on-one coaching where we work with you together. And we're going to review your profile and we're going to make some suggestions. Now, if you want to learn more about other social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, that site we mentioned a few times, gcflearnfree.org, has some free online tutorials. And you'll have the convenience of watching, pausing, and even rewinding to your heart's content. Lyndon, do you have a thought that you'd like to share at this point?
I do, William, and I'd like all of you who are watching today to consider this. How would you rate your social media skills? Would you rate them as excellent, okay, or needs improvement? Consider this as you consider your other skills. William, back
Wow,
to you.
great advice. Thanks so much, Lyndon. Well, step number 5 takes us to how we guide ourselves to finding and applying for jobs. So understand this, long gone are the days of simply looking in the newspaper for a job announcement and then picking up the phone and calling a number to schedule an interview. Therefore, email is going to be a key part of your tactics. Today's job campaign process can feel overwhelming. In the midst of online job boards with their sneaky little automated tracking systems, customized resumes full of keywords, and online applications that just seem to take forever to complete, believe it or not, the best way to find a job is still through word of mouth, and we call that networking. Now, we want you to create a list of people who might be able to help you in your job campaign. This list could include family members, neighbors, former coworkers even. To get you started, all you need is a name and an email address and/or a phone number. Once you created your list, you're going to reach out and touch those folks and update them about your desire to find a new employment opportunity. That's it. But you'll always be clear and specific when talking to others about the job or jobs in which you are interested. This is a great place to share your 30-second pitch, by the way. Hint, hint. Look, job clubs are also another way to find job leads. You can do an internet search and see if there is a job club or a networking group for the type of job or industry in your area. Currently, most of these job clubs are meeting virtually. And what job clubs can be are places where you get to practice your job campaign skills and even share job leads with others. When you sign up for coaching, you'll be joining an online job club through our private LinkedIn group. Yay! You don't have to go through this alone. Well, let's continue by briefly covering job applications. I know, the bane of your existence at this point. Today, there are a few ways to apply for a job. You might complete a paper application or email your resume or upload your resume on an employer's career portal, or you might even complete an online application. Well, one of the modern day job campaign traps, if you will, in applying for jobs online is something called the applicant tracking system. Have you heard of that? Well, some people refer to it as the ATS, and you can think of it as a robot designed to help an employer only see the resumes which are a quote unquote perfect fit for the position for which they're hiring. It searches through the resumes and cover letters for specific keywords and phrases that align with the job description and/or the duties expected to be performed. Now, it is estimated that roughly 95% of all major corporations and about half of small companies use these tracking systems. While this certainly addresses the challenge of efficiently culling through hundreds and hundreds of resumes that are received for each job posting, guess what? The resulting problem for us as a job candidate is that if we don't know how to correctly format our information to measure up to those ATSs, we'll never be seen by a human. And the end result, the resumes of well-qualified candidates like us will never be seen by a person. And that means if you don't get this right, you'll never get invited to an interview, let alone land the job. So we're going to cover this in much more depth during our coaching sessions. Now, our 7-step coaching program will help you feel confident about the application process. You'll also learn what to include in your cover letter, your resume, as well as email messages. Getting the application process right is important because that's what gets you the interview. All right, we're going to move on to step number 6, preparing for the interview. Throughout all of this, one thing remains the same. You've got to get yourself emotionally prepared for the interview and practice tough interview questions. While it is illegal to discriminate in employment based on age, people over 50 will often say that they felt age was the determining factor when not getting the job. But let me say this, the more confident you are about the value you bring to an opportunity, the better you're going to interview, and the more likely you're going to get that job. Coaching really does help you to find and articulate the value you bring to an employer, which for many of us can be difficult to describe. Additionally, practicing your answers significantly reduces the stress you may feel about an interview. You're going to find examples of how to answer tough questions, which for some might be as simple as tell me about yourself, in that 7 Smart Strategies for 50+ Job Seekers guide. For some, The temptation when asked this question is to simply wing it or shoot from the hip, as they say. Some folks try to come up with something clever and win the interviewer over with charm or wit. Some candidates even think this is the perfect time to kind of let their hair down and talk about their family or their favorite hobby or their favorite football team. Listen, what the interviewer really wants to hear is something that explains why they should hire you for that position. Today, interviews can take place over the phone, on your computer, using things like Zoom or Skype or Google Meet, or even in person. They could be with a group of applicants, a panel of interviewers, or just with a recruiter. But you will likely have more than one interview with the same company, so be prepared. It's so important to practice using these various platforms that I just mentioned ahead of time. This is going to reduce your stress level, and it's going to help you feel confident for that interview. Now, if you intend on participating in the program, you're going to get more tools, and you're going to get some tips on preparing yourself for a job-winning interview. How does that sound? Sound good? All right, let's move on to step number 7, which is accepting, declining, or negotiating that job offer. So here we go. You got an offer. Woohoo! Okay. Yes, you definitely get to celebrate, but you will want to negotiate effectively. In this step, if you will think through how you will respond to a job offer, it will serve you well, because you need to appreciate the value that you're going to offer to a new employer and assess the salary that is appropriate for you, your family, and your current needs. Then you're going to want to compare things like the estimated commuting costs to that compensation offer. And then ask yourself, is this really right for me? And once you've considered all of the benefits, you can accept, negotiate, or decline that offer. And if you accept the offer, you will want to ensure that you know what the next steps are going to be. All right, hope that sounds good. Because those are the 7 job campaign steps our research told us older workers need to understand and use in today's competitive and fast-changing job market. Based on what Lyndon and I have shared with you today, you may have everything that you need to launch your job campaign on your own. But I said this earlier, we found that a job campaign works best when we're not alone. And that's why we created the Back to Work 50 Plus 7-step coaching program to help you build your skills, fill in gaps, and regain your confidence. By participating in this program, you're going to boost your confidence by focusing on the value you bring to employers. You're going to discover how to correctly research employers and job information. You're going to effectively compete with personal marketing tools that impress the socks off of potential employers. And you are going to get personal coaching guidance specific to your needs. Now, we've just shared the basics today, but the upcoming 7-step coaching program sessions will provide a clear roadmap for you to follow. Now, you might be thinking, well, is this right for me? Fair question. Again, you're going to have to decide, but consider this. It might be right for you if, number 1, you're recently unemployed, or number 2, you haven't looked for a job in a while. Things have changed. Or number 3, maybe you're feeling stuck in your job campaign. Number 4, you simply don't have a clue on where to start. Well, if any of those are you, listen up. If you've been multitasking, now's a good time to really focus in for just a moment, because the Back to Work 50 Plus 7-step coaching program is designed to hold your hand virtually, of course, through the process of creating and launching your own successful job campaign. Everything that you're going to need from beginning to end is right here in this program. And you're going to have access to world-class coaches, I might say, who have been dedicated to working with the 50-plus population for many years. We're here to provide you with practical, social, and moral support each and every step of the way. So once you apply, we're going to notify you by email and let you know if you've been selected. So let's outline how this 7-step coaching program is going to work. And your ultimate mission is to launch a job campaign. To do this, we're going to complete the 7 steps in the job campaign checklist we just outlined. And just know that we are going to walk you through each step to help you land opportunities in record time. Now, our second bonus for you is a copy of the job campaign checklist. Get excited. Yes, you're going to receive a copy in a follow-up email after today's workshop. See there, being here is just half of it. Now, you might be also asking, well, William, what makes our Back to Work 50-plus 7-step coaching program different from other things out there? And that's also a fair question. Let me just say this, first and foremost, we make sure that we're going to be there for you when you need an extra set of sharp eyes. You're going to get tools, you're going to get coaching, you're going to be a part of an active community of like-minded job campaigners. Because this program offers, number one, special access to the 7-step job campaign online course. Oh my goodness, I'm getting excited now. Number two, you have 4 weeks of group coaching sessions with us on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. You'll have a session just like this one that's only focused on the 7 steps of your job campaign. Number 3, you'll have one-on-one coaching to help you settle on a job target or spruce up your resume. And then finally, number 4, the job campaign workbook that we'll mail to you. And you'll get to use it each week to complete the steps on your own job campaign. Wow. And there's more. You'll get to join the Back to Work community of job campaigners and employed alumni in our private LinkedIn group. You'll also be able to join us in our Friday coaching sessions and monthly check-ins. Oh my goodness. It's chock full of value just for YO and especially you. The 7-step job campaign outline, or I should say online course, is stocked with a digital copy of the job campaign workbook, videos, leading edge samples, and templates, and constantly evolving tools to assure that you are going to be the one who shows up as the candidate to hire. And I haven't even gotten to the best part yet. Are you ready for this? Here we go. All of what I've mentioned, all of the program, all of the coaching is completely free. Did I really say free, Linton? Yes, it's free because it's sponsored by the AARP Foundation just for you. Because we all want you to be successful. So we've also created a few expectations for you. Are you ready to be accountable? I hope so. We expect you to enroll in the 7-step job campaign online course. We expect you to participate fully during the group coaching sessions. We expect you to complete all 7 steps in your workbook that we're going to send you for free. We expect you to attend your scheduled one-on-one sessions and be on time. We're expecting you to connect with your peers, to be a part of the community. We're expecting you to respond to check-ins from our coaches as well as our contact center. We'll do a temperature check every now and then and make sure things are going okay. Finally, and perhaps most important, we're expecting you to share your employment successes with us, because when you do, you'll help others to stay hopeful And you'll also help us to continue to draw funding to support this program. Also, celebrate with others as they also have successes and get jobs. And this helps everyone stay motivated. So let's talk about what happens next. You ready? All righty. The program starts with a Meet Your Coach Zoom group session where we'll get you ready for the course. The following 3 weeks, we'll host the 90-minute 7-step program coaching sessions on Mondays. And this is where we're going to teach you the job campaign steps. We'll ask you to work on your own steps using the online course and your workbook, and then meet with us again on Fridays to ask questions, share updates, and even learn a little bit more. Again, this is the intensive part. After you complete the course, you will continue to be a part of the Back to Work 50 Plus community through the Friday sessions, through the private LinkedIn community, and other special activities that we've kind of got hidden in the background just for you. As I said, this program is free, but here's the catch. I know you're saying there's got to be a catch, right? The catch is we only have a limited number of spaces available. So you're going to need to apply as quickly as possible. And to apply, you'll simply call the number on the screen or click the link in your email and complete the coaching application online form. Listen, the AARP Foundation Contact Center is open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Mondays through Fridays. So make sure you join as soon as possible, or you're going to miss out. With that, that's all I have. Lyndon, would you like to share a few parting words?
I do. Thanks, William. And you did an awesome job today. Thank you so much. So I hope you all will consider joining us. And I and William as well look forward to meeting you soon. Thanks so much for being with us today. Take care.